Welcome to the fifth of the Transformational Leaders Edge Talk series. My name is Gorden Simango, a graduate in the Doctor of Transformational Leadership program at Bake Graduate University with honors in the Organizational Transformation track. Today we are again focusing on some aspects of Goodwill Dissent, also termed constructive workplace dissent in the leadership and management literature. At its core, according to how I define it, Goodwill Dissent is a commandment of love for your organization. It is an act of speaking up, not to be difficult, but because you have a sincere faith in your organization or in your company and you refuse to watch it going down to failure. It is dissent rooted in loyalty, but also in your best interest of your organization. To unpack the weight and the wisdom of this, today my guest is Ambassador Salah Hammad. Ambassador Salah Hammad is the head of the African Governance, Peace and Security Architectures, AGA-APSA Secretariat, and is a senior human rights expert within the Department of Political Affairs, Peace and Security at the African Union Commission. Originally from Sudan, Ambassador Hammad studied political science and human rights law in the United States of America. Ambassador Hammad was voted as Ambassador for Human Rights by the Arab Council for Human Rights in 2013 and has been appointed an ambassador within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Sudan in 2016. And for the past 28 years, he has dedicated his life to the world of development and human rights. As an international expert, he worked on issues of governance, peace and security, human rights, humanitarian affairs, refugees, and resettlement. He also worked in the global development for a number of international and continental organizations. Ambassador Salah, welcome. It's my pleasure to have you in this fifth edition of the Transformational Leaders Edge podcast series. I am deeply grateful and words fail me.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Gorden, for having me. I'm delighted and honored to be your guest today. Thank you so much.
Ambassador, you lead a complex secretariat where coordination and people management are at the heart of this mission. We have seen a global reset in how we work in line with Goodwill Dissent. Why is the old say, do as I say, perhaps not as I do, style, actually is a liability for today's leader?
Well, thank you so very much for this very important question, Dr. Gordon. But before I proceed with the answer or the response, I wish to briefly give an idea about what is the AGA-APSA Secretariat. So then your followers will have some information about this very important and complex, as you mentioned, as you called it, in fact, a complex secretariat. The AGA-APSA Secretariat stands for the African Governance Architecture and the African Peace and Security Architecture Secretariat. And the Secretariat was established as part of a very lengthy and complex processes in 2012 after it was declared established by the head of state and government during the 2011 summit. The AGA-APSA Secretariat serves a platform of about 21 members composed of the African Union organs, such as the Commission in Banjul, the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, the African Court in Arusha, the Pan-African Parliament, the Committee of Experts on the Right and Welfare of the Child, and many, many other organs of the African Union, in addition to the regional economic communities of the African Union, such as the East African Community, ECOWAS, SADC, and many more. In addition to the regional economic communities, such as the Standby Force, as well as the East African Standby Force, and also NARC. So the Secretariat serves all of these members of the platform together by implementing flagship projects that bring them all together to speak collectively with one voice as the African Union family on issues related to good governance, democracy, rule of law, development, and peace and security. Goodwill Dissent is a survival mechanism. And I'm sure you would agree with me that if you have a team in place that is part of an organization, and that team is afraid of asking a question about a directive that has been given by the leadership or by the management of the organization, then that organization in reality is quite fragile. A leader who demands obedience, which silence the workers or the employees and the staff voices, loses their most valuable asset, which is the intelligence as well as the experience and best practices that they can share to improve the work environment of the organization. As a result, if the leader is wrong and the entire mission is, of course, on the other side, then the balance that brings the leader to lead the organization to success will be missed, and as a result, the mission will suffer because, of course, there is no mechanism for correctiveness. So the do I say or do as I say style of leadership or management is liability. It also doesn't give a chance for feedback from the members of the organization that is necessary for the improvement of the work environment to achieve the ultimate goals and objectives of the organization. On the other side, of course, compliance doesn't mean that commitment should not be observed by the staff and the members of the organization. That is why as I say style captures a person's time, but never their best efforts or corrective insights to improve the work environment. I would say that there is really need for an ongoing dialogue and conversations between the leadership of the organization and the members of the staff of the organization in order for the organization to achieve its objectives and to also achieve them in the best way possible. That would be my response. Thank you very much.
You often reflect on the principle of speaking the truth in love. How do you foster an environment where staff members feel safe enough to tell a senior executive that a project is headed for failure?
I would say that love must be seen as a professional context, or within a professional context, should be seen as an effort from the members of the organization to achieve the ultimate goal and to ensure the success of the mission of the organization. It's important to create an environment where leaders, management of the organization can tell their team that whenever they see a need for sharing an opinion or raising a voice, that should be done. That should be done in a way to protect the assets of the organization, to protect the liability of the organization, the reputation of the organization, but also to ensure that the management and the staff are one family on the right track to achieve the ultimate goals of the organization. So when the time comes for planning an important reflection that is encompasses the objectives and the plans of the organization. Here, I would say that dialogue between the management and the members of the organization is quite important to ensure that the team collectively will make sure that they are all gearing toward achieving the ultimate goals and objectives of the organization. Any opinion that helps in advancing that efforts of the organization certainly should be within the boundaries of respect, within the boundaries of tolerance, and within the boundaries of acceptance. So then the management and the staff of the organization will blend together as a family to advance the goals of the organization. And this is how I really see love within a professional context.
And how do you do this practically in your work, Ambassador?
By not just being polite, but it's really being precise and protective. I foster this by ensuring that my team knows that we are all together as a family, having or bearing the same responsibility, the same risk, and the same burden as we are trying to achieve the ultimate goals of the Secretariat. I am always open to receive and to listen to my staff about any risk or any problems that we might be faced collectively while we are implementing an activity or a program or initiative. But my job is to ensure that the staff are rewarded, complimented when they are achieving their job, but also the staff are corrected in a very polite manner when there is need to be corrected. I would also say that it's quite important that I ensure while we are in the process of implementing an activity or a program, that we listen to each other, we talk to each other as a team, but of course, that is all within the boundaries of management that ensure respect, tolerance, and also adherence to the principles of the African Union as a whole.
Research shows that supervisors often push back when suggestions are being given, partly because they feel that their or established procedures for the organization are being threatened. Practically, how do you coach your management team to see Goodwill Dissent as an asset rather than a threat?
I think it's important through dialogue that the leadership of a specific or certain organization frame Goodwill Dissent as a risk management. Also, it is quite important to frame Goodwill Dissent as a style of management that within its component has an early warning system or data that will assist in detecting risks and also problems in advance. So then the staff can respond to these risks and problems before they occur. That is why the Goodwill Dissent as a management style is quite important to be understood collectively by the team, but also to ensure that the manager is not far away in advance from the team, but the manager or the leader is part of the team, guiding the team, trying to remind them of what they miss, and also the other way around, remind the leader of what the leader is missing. Once the Goodwill Dissent is implemented correctly, it will ensure that the environment of work is stress-free, and also it helps the staff to ensure that the conversation and the dialogue that is taking place is in favor of advancing the mission of the organization, and it's not the other way around.
Again, thank you so much, Ambassador, for those insights. Really important nuggets that we are picking from here. Just moving on, Ambassador Salah, why is it critical to focus on the performance and not the person?
I would say as a people manager, I want to solve a problem, not to wound a person. So therefore, by focusing on the impact of the work, we keep the employees' dignity intact. And also this allows for continuity of development at the personal level. And also this will in fact enhance the interest within the team to develop their abilities rather than feeling that they have to defend their characters. So the theater will be to perform better instead of being on the other side to waste time defending efforts and to defend decisions. And of course, the most effective leaders, from my own point of view and from my own experience, is the one that strive to be seen as part of the team, but at the same time to be seen as a mentor and also to be seen as an example for all members of the team to follow. This way, the team, without any exceptions, will be able to develop, to blend, and to bridge any gaps between the management and the team in order to achieve the goals of the organization. And this way, the leader, as part of the collective management based on this Goodwill Dissent, will be able to provide leadership for the team to achieve the ultimate goals of the organization, and to make sure that they are not really working parallelly, but they are all working together and they blend together the team, and that way the mission will be accomplished in a shorter time and also in a perfect manner.
Ambassador, again, thanks for those insights. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, so to speak. So, in a high stakes secretariat such as yours, how does the tone of feedback change the outcome of a management decision?
From my own understanding of the Goodwill Dissent and from my own experience as part of the secretariat for the past years, I would say that tone is the career wave of the message. If the tone is hostile, if the tone is harsh, then the message will be lost, and certainly the goals will not be achieved. But if you are using our tone to build a bridge towards a solution, then we are speaking life into the organization. We are also speaking truth to the staff. If we are speaking harshly to each other, and if the tone is not respectful, then I believe we are speaking death to the moral of the team. So a harsher tone, even if it is within, I would say, the context of truth, it is still not acceptable by the team, and of course, it will not allow them to give you the best of their ability. But if you speak to the team in a friendlier tone, with a directive on a specific issue, then of course the staff will be your mirror, and they will reflect the image that you want them to be. And together under your leadership, they will share with you the values that you are preaching as a manager. They will also believe in the values that you believe in, and you represent, in fact, as a manager, as a leader. And that way the team will be, I would say, under your leadership, will be able to deliver on the mission of the organization. Shared strategic problem solving lessons could be, in fact, understood, could be better digested when the tone is softer, when the tone is more respectful. So I really advocate for a softer tone that could reflect a very high level of respect among the team, between the management and the staff. That way, there will be a more friendly environment. There will be more family nature that we collectively can then benefit from and advance the goals of the organization to achieve the missions that has been set for the Secretariat.
Again, thank you, Ambassador, for those very important insights. And to move on, Ambassador Salah, as a leader who is currently at the top, how do you often make room in a conversation for your staff to feel safe to give you feedback?
As a leader, the higher you climb, the more oxygen you consume in the room. So if I'm not careful, I will end up in a vacuum of my own making. Therefore, my strategy is to proactively I step down from the, I would say, from the authority that I assume as a leader, by admitting what I don't know. We are human beings. We make mistakes just like anybody else. And as leaders, we should really admit when a mistake is made.
Thank you, Ambassador Salah, again for those powerful insights into the leadership and management work environment. Join me in the next episode of the Transformational Leaders Edge Talk series. If you found value in today's conversation, please like, subscribe, and share. You are also feel free to comment for us to keep the conversation going on. If you are interested in an organizational assessment or developing systems in relation to the issues we discuss here, kindly feel free to write to findingexcellence@ehp@yahoo.com. I am Gorden Simango, and thank you for listening.